Hello everyone, in today's tutorial I'm going to show you on how to cut this pan, this elastic waistband pan. So the fabric I'm going to be using for this is 1.5 yard, but I'll not be using everything. I'll be needing my chalk, my cutting scissors, my measuring tape, and my ruler. First thing what I'm going to do is to go ahead and fold my fabric into two, right side facing right side. And once I'm done folding it, I want to make sure that whatever I have should be 1/4 of the hip plus some 3 extra inches, depending on the allowance you want to increase. I'll go ahead and throw away 2 inch for the waistband. So I'll start measuring from that 2 inch downward. I'll measure the first measurement is going to be from the waist to the hip line, from the waist to the crotch line. How to get a crotch line is by dividing round hip by 4. Since this pan is not a fitting pan, I'm going to go ahead and add 1.5 inch. I will take the round hip, which is 34, divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. I will add 1.5 inch to it, depending on how free you want it to be. You can even add 2 or 3 inch. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead and connect it up with a straight line. To get a crotch extension is by taking 1/4 of the hip, which is that 9.5, divide it into 4. Then whatever you have, you're going to extend it up. Then you go up by 3 inch, go in by 1/2 inch, and go down by 1/2 inch, where you can see me marking right there. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead and connect it up like you can see me doing. Then I'm also going to link it up to meet up here. Then I'm going to take my French curve. I will connect it up here. If you don't have one, just go ahead and use your free hand. After doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to measure up whatever I have on the crotch depth line. Then I will take it down to the length of it. That's how free I want this pan to be. So I will just take it all the way to my total length. The total length I'm working with is 40. So I will mark that all the way down. After which I'm done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead and cut that up. Once I'm done cutting it up, I'm going to use this front to cut up the back. Since I'm going to be needing 1/2 inch to join the waist to the band, I'll be cutting just about 0.25 at that top. I'll go ahead again and fold my fabric into 2. This time around, I'll make sure that whatever I have folded should be more than 3 inch than the front. So I'll place the front on it, the front piece on it. Then I'll make sure at the top part I have at least 1.5 inch at the top part. I'm going to go ahead and extend it up by 1.5 inch. If you're working with a bigger board, you can go ahead and do 2 inch. But for smaller size, I'm doing 1.5 inch. I'm going to link it up to meet up the side of the front, just like you can see me doing. Then I'll come here. I'll be extending 1.5 inch. You can do 2 inch. It's fine. Then here I'm going to extend 1.5 inch. For bigger board, you can go ahead and do 2 inch. Remember, I'm working for a round hip of 30. Then I'm going to link them up, connect them up together. Once I'm done doing so, I'll mark 1.5 inch all the way down. Once I'm done marking that up, I'll go ahead to cut it up. Once we're done cutting it up, we're going to move this aside. We'll be cutting the pocket of the pan. But before I go ahead to cut the pocket, I'm going to separate the side of the pants. Move this aside now. I'm going to go ahead and fold my fabric into 2, then I refold it again into 4 because I'll be cutting 2 pockets, okay, one for the right and one for the left. I'm going to place my arms, my palm, like you can see, not my arm, just like this, and trace it up, and I'll be cutting that up. I'll go ahead to separate them up, and we'll be done with the cutting of this tutorial. So I hope you find it helpful. Thank you so much for watching.